Hey, what's going on YouTube? YTPC, it's your boy Treetop Piper coming back at you. Uh, Today, I just actually wanted to revisit a tobacco. I believe I've done a review on it, but I wanted to revisit it, try it again. I haven't smoked it in probably close to 10 or 11 months, and it's a pretty typical blend, Quiet Nights. This one is a year old, and that's another reason why I wanted to try it. I wanted to try out a year old tin, see what it's like after a year, because I have two tins, or 8 ounce tins, that are almost a year old, and this will give me some idea of what those will be like, I think, here in the next 2 months, because they were tin the day after my birthday. And it'd be nice for them to be a year old the day after my birthday. So, anyway, I was gonna go ahead and open it and smoke it. And another reason why I'm doing this is because that Brebbia Latakia Flake number 9 reminded me so much of this. It just had such a salty goodness that only certain Latakia blends have. And I'm gonna, ooh, you could hear like a tss from that for sure. Has a nice, quite a potent, Latakia punch to it to start with. Very much so. You definitely get that smell right off the bat, which it makes sense. This is a Latakia blend. I mean, that's what it's known for, as far as I know. But what we have, ooh, it's very good looking. You can see the plume. It's like almost got a bluish tint in the camera there, but there's plume and crystals all over this. It's only been a year. Smells wonderful. The only for me, like, it is very close to Penzance. The only difference to me is that Penzance, they must use finer tobaccos, and therefore they get a more uniform fine blend. Whereas this stuff, it seems like it's very kind of chunky almost. You get spots of one type of tobacco and other spots of another type. Where in like Penzance, it's so finely cut that it blends so well. Whereas this stuff, I think it's not quite as finely, it's not as coarsely done, or it's more coarsely done. I think they just make recipes. Oh, this percentage of this tobacco, this percentage of that tobacco, and they don't actually go through the process of shredding the tobacco and getting it down to the right portion, the right proportions. Because like Penzance, if you ever notice, it absolutely crumbles to almost a dust. I mean, in its prime, when it's perfect, fresh as you can, absolutely ready to go, and it crumbles down to nothing. You just can't do that with Quiet Nights and stuff like that, and Pease blends and American blends on the whole, and even Sam Gawith. The only stuff you can do that with is their certain flakes, like St. James flake or full Virginia flake. They come very finely cut sometimes, very finely cut. But Germain's, for some reason, they have it fine tuned, and they cut their tobacco almost as a shag. I mean, if any of their loose tobacco is a shag, it's that simple. Any of their you get 1820 mixture or King Charles, total shag. The only one that I've seen that isn't quite like that is the Royal Jersey. It's a little bit thicker cut, but it's still almost like hair. It's so fine, and it blends so well. It just really fits together so well. And you don't quite get that with the Quiet Nights. Although you do get this, I'm telling you, that is some serious plume growing, or building up on that. That is, it's like a, I mean, it's like a crystallization covering the flakes. And I'm gonna go ahead and pack my. I'm pretty sure that it's probably about ready to go. I mean, it's not. It doesn't seem overly wet. But the only thing that sucks about using when you have a really nice, well-aged tobacco, I tend to want to cut it up. I feel like or rubbing it out is just rubbing off what has taken a year to grow. So what I like to do is just cut it up. They call it square cube cutting. Cube cutting. And that's what I like to do. That way I get a very easily packable smoke. But I'm not disturbing the the plume and the age as much. I feel like I'm preserving that by cutting it up, by cube cutting it. And it packs really well. It smokes as if you rubbed it out really, really, really well. But you don't have to rape the tobacco so bad. I mean, because we all know what rubbing out is. You just rub the shit out of it until it's fine, until it's fine enough to smoke. Now, you don't have to necessarily do that. Like when I smoke my 12-year-old Virginia Flake, full Virginia Flake, I cube cut that. That's cube cut. When I smoke Stonehaven, that's cube cut. Because it's all aged, it's all got plume all over it, and I just feel like rubbing it out. I'm not a great fan of folding. I just feel like you end up using a lot of tobacco and having this insanely long smoke. And I'm usually just not up for a smoke that long. I'm just not up for it. By the way, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. I had a wonderful Havana, a Monte Cristo number 2 I got from Old Berg last night to celebrate. This is just an excellent tobacco. And with a year on it, too. I'm thinking I'll probably wait another year before I even open the 8-ounce one, so it'll be 2 years old by the time I open it. And then the second 8-ounce one I'll open the year after that. It'll be 3 years old at least. Maybe this year I'll buy some more and see if I can't get some that are that are made around the time of my birthday, kind of to match it up and keep that going. Because I'm young, I can build a cellar, and in 2, 3, 4 years have myself so set up, smoke nothing but aged tobacco. And pay regular prices. If you don't have the money, you can make up for it with time. I feel like that's an old adage. You need a certain amount of things to become wealthy. Time is one of them, what can be one of them. Money, and even in the stock market, you don't have to have a lot of money if you have a lot of time. If you have 30 years, if you're a young man like me, you don't need a terrible amount of money to start with. You have a lot of time to really grow, you know, whereas and or you can have a lot of money, you know. If you have a lot of money, you can make a lot of money quick, you know. And anyway, you know, I think that's what I'm going to do is start building my. I mean, I have built a cellar, but I have most of the tobaccos that I enjoy. I have tins, 4 or 5 tins worth, you know, to make sure might go through a tin a year, uh, you know, just to make sure that I've always got one, and I'm always smoking at least a year old tobacco. I have no problem waiting a year. Seems like a year goes by in the blink of an eye. It's you know what is a year? It's nothing. It's one session of seasons. You know, really. And I've just been trying to every year, you know, just every year restock. You know, get 1 8 ounce whatever of everything that I need, and every year, you know, have an 8 ounce of all my favorite blends, and eventually I'll have it to where I'm always smoking 4 or 5 year old 8 ounce, you know, portions, and really thoroughly enjoying it. Right now I have full Virginia Flake, St. James Flake, and Navy Flake, all 8 ounces, jarred up, year old, over a year old, a year and a half old, and you know those are coming along beautifully. You know, and 2 or 3 years, those are going to be stellar smokes. Really, time is on our side. I have Penzance that I've had jarred up for a year, and you wouldn't believe the amount of plume on it, and I just let it keep going. You know, I have enough in a small jar to enjoy it whenever I want. About those quiet nights, it really has a nice Latakia bombish. Like it reminds me of that Brebbia Latakia number 9, Latakia Flake. Very forward on the Latakia. Just a hint of Orientals and Virginias. And just that little touch of, I guess, you know, spice from the Perique. It really is a nice smoke. It's been so long since I've had any too. Looking for my damn tamper. Here we go. Yeah, it's been so long since I've had any, and it's so nice to have it after a year because I've always had fresh. And to finally have a cellar with some age on it is really nice. I've got 4 or 5 tins of brown flake that are over a year old. I have 4 or 5 tins of full Virginia flake that are 2 years old. And those are strictly to age till at least 5 years. You know, they really are. But this, even after a year, there's quiet nights is prime. And it's prime. Just a year, not even a year, maybe 10 months. It's 3 weeks short of a year is how old that tin is. And it was all puffed up. It spewed air when I opened it, and it just creates a wonderful smoke that's well blended, well marinated. Speaking of that, man, that Cuban last night was just made the New Year's all that much better. I want to thank Oldberg for hooking me up with the Monte Cristo #2. Just a, whew. I mean, I got compliments from the people at the bar. They were like, "Man, that is a good cigar." I was like, "Yeah, it's a Cuban." No shit. Definitely Happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody has a good year, makes some good money. Enjoy yourselves. It's good. We're those of us that made it. I mean, I have friends that didn't make it that were in their 20s. So we all made it another year. Congratulations. This is a really easy smoke too. That was straight out of the tin. It's cool. It's not getting overly hot. I'm smoking it out of my K. Woody Meerschaum, so I'm getting a nice pure flavor out of it. So much flavor there. Flavor explosion. And that's the only reason why I like Penzance more than Quiet Nights is it's just a little more relaxed and subtle. It's just a little more lay back and really zone out subtleness. You get these moments where you just zone out. You get lost in thought, and it really takes a subtle, well-balanced blend to get there. They call that the perfect smoke, or I guess the perfect smoke, I think is what they call it. But you zone out, and you get so lost in thought, and the tobacco kind of helps you get to that place. And it's hard to do that with these kind of tobaccos here because there's so much flavor. It's like everything Penzance is, but bam, in your face, Flavor, flavor, flavor. Enjoy. Whereas it seems that Germain's has it right that tobacco should kind of put you in a state of mind. Shouldn't be all about flavor necessarily. Should relax you. Should put you in a good frame of mind. Should bring you down from the day. Wind you down. And that's what I like to use pipe tobacco for. To wind down. To slow down. To really reflect over the day's troubles or the day's victories. There's either one or the other. Either you've had a troubled day or you've had a victorious day. No matter what, it's a good reason to have a pipe for it. Just to reflect a little bit. Although I must say, this does put me in a good frame of mind. But it's quite a strong tobacco. It's got quite a bit of punch to it. I definitely would give it an 8 out of 10. After a year, yeah, this is like an 8 out of 10 blend. Which in my books is very much so above average. So, save tobaccos. If you enjoy a blend, or if a blend needs some time, don't be afraid to get 2 tins, try one, enjoy it, and throw one back in the cellar. Because one day it really may pay off. I specifically bought this individual 2-ounce tin to hold me off from smoking my 8-ounce tins. They all have a year on them. But this way I didn't have to bust out a whole 8 ounces. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there. It's getting over a 20-minute video. Hope you guys enjoy it. I appreciate everybody jumping in and saying hey. Appreciate the new subscribers. You guys have been great, and all the support has come my way since I've come back. And until next time, guys, Happy New Year. Treetop Piper over and out.